Welcome. Hello everyone, it is GleeCon, and I am here again, bringing you another episode of Lore of Warcraft. So thank you for tuning in. On our last episode, we plugged away in the Duskwood, a fast-moving zone. Everything's relatively close compared to some of the other zones, and the questing is lore-rich. It's rewarding in terms of experience, not so much loot, and it's been pretty cool. Every little aspect pretty much is part of a chain, and we, after recovering from a little bit of a stumble in the record of the first episode, we really hit our strides in the last one, and I think on today's episode we're going to finish this zone, so stay a while and listen as we take Glee Contessa, our human alliance paladin, through the rest of the Duskwood. Now, the part that might slow us down is there's some travel that we'll have to do for one of the quest lines, the one with Sven. We also, we're doing great. So we need to go over here for Rot Blossoms. That's pretty much where we're at. It says, yeah, we need the still skeleton fingers. We're gonna need the ghouls and stuff soon. I think our best bet is gonna be to go north, go across the north path here to hit up the graveyard, because now we're in a sitch where we don't need to do all of the graveyard. I'm not interested in doing the ghoul fangs yet, but you know what? I think we should go through the southern path, because I want to hit up the finding the shadowy figure part of the quest. And I want to then hit up the graveyard. We could probably even take more Ladim out as well. I'll keep my eye out. That's very, very popularly broadcasted. We can try. We can give an old college try for fighting more Ladim. He is a level 35 elite. And I'm very confident. I've soloed that guy with multiple different classes. I wasn't quick enough to buffer. Multiple different specs at different levels. Many of them, I don't know how much lower I was than 31 when I did it, but I've done it with a Rat Pally that was slightly more poorly geared. Eritor wasn't quite as geared as well as she is, and I still pulled it off with him. But would it behoove us to maybe be like one level higher? Probably, and we will probably get there if we keep on fighting and killing. So maybe for now we will ignore more Ladim. I think what we'll do is we will turn in the finding the shadowy figure, which is Jitters. So basically, we've gotten all these clues as we're trying to figure out who it was that buried and wrote that half-buried journal we have in Sven's farm. The Jorgenstead. Sven Worgen. We have Sven Worgen's farm. So there's a lot of talk about the kind of like racist overtones in the live-action Disney Mermaid Sebastian and the original Sebastian. And that makes me think, like, at what point is an accent racist, and what point is it an attempt to do an accent? And I'm truly concerned, because if I'm doing stereotypical accents for certain, like my Sven Worgen accent there, or if I'm doing, when I try to talk like a troll, am I talking like a troll when I'm obviously going for a sort of a Caribbean accent, a generic, not authentic, or is that in itself, is that racist? Is it racist if I'm doing a Russian accent or German? So I don't know. I'm not any of those things. I'm just a guy that tries to do accents to make the reading of the different lines of voice acting kind of pop a little bit if they're not taken care of by voiceover. So let me know if it's something you're like, yeah, man, you should maybe just stick to your own natural voice. I'll take that into advisement. And if you're like, no, it's fine. It adds to the content to hear you do these silly little voices. I'll take that into advisement as well. I don't know. Like, I don't care enough about it to want to, like, piss people off over it. But I also, I'm not the best in the world, but I'm just as this is a super amateur podcast. I'm a super amateur accent type of guy. I'm decent. And I know that just in random encounters in my life, like a few months ago, I was at a bar with my wife, and we don't typically go to bars, but she had a friend that wanted to meet up and hang out, a work friend. So we went, and we were waiting for her work friend's boyfriend to come, and meanwhile we were sitting there, and a couple of like guys came over and started engaging in joke telling at the table, and I told them a joke laden with accents, and they were like, man, you're
Hello.
good. So a couple drunk guys thought I was good. Who are you? Leave me be. Jitters.
Yes, I'm the author of that book.
Jitters size.
You finally found me, eh? Well, if you read that journal, then you only know the half of it.
Like, literally.
The book you found was only half finished. I had to leave it at Sven's farm when I fled there. Here, take my completed journal to Sven. It describes more fully what happened at his farm. Although this journal has been my only company these past weeks, if giving it up keeps me from having to face Sven and his wrath, then I do it willingly.
Safe travel.
Alright, first and foremost, we finished the Shadowy figure, and we're picking up Return to Sven. So let's go to the database here. Duskwood, Bobbity Booba. And then going over here. Sometimes it like resets wherever I was at. But finding the Shadowy figure is now done. And we picked up Return to Sven. Okay, which is the last in the sort of easy investigative part of this chain. You can tell because the next quests jump up in level. So we are going to do exactly that. We are going to return to Sven and see what he says. And before I do anything else, we're going to work on killing skeletal fiends, killing skeletal horrors, and getting the rot blossoms. Getting more Ladim I'm not as worried about. And again, I'm holding off on... There's a couple things we're holding off on. One, I'm holding off on the ghouls, because we will get a mission to kill a buttload of ghouls too. So we might as well be smart and do those at the same time. I've been holding off on this up here, although that's less important. We can probably go take care of that whenever we want now. We'll probably do that like right before we do the elites. And then there are also these Worgen down here. Those are decently strong Worgen. They're level 31, and as am I, so there's that to consider, but we can wrap up some other things first. This Totem of Infliction is... Look at this whole party we have going on here. Party time.
Need help?
Oh, I didn't read the rest of the book, dang it. Alright, let's read the rest of this book
For
first.
the Alliance.
Okay. So I'm not sure exactly where it picked off, now it's 20 pages. But I don't know if it's where it picked up and where it drops off. So it says my journal. The terror of these past few weeks is almost more than I can bear. Why is it that by writing words into this book, I can somehow keep the madness at bay? Perhaps it is as if I'm confessing my sins to a silent companion, or freeing my mind of these tortured thoughts and confining them to paper. I began a journal before this one, but it remains in a place to which I cannot return, so I will start afresh. But this time, I will start from the true beginning. Okay, so this is a different book. Some of the things might be covered the same, but it's like an expanded version. It began with the finding of that cursed scythe in the mine they called Roland's Doom. Yes, that was the start of it. Before that, the Defias Brotherhood was happy with our progress in Duskwood. Before the scythe, The terrors of this place seemed as tame as Northshire Valley. Okay, so pause right there. Jitters is a member of the Defias, part 1. Part 2, the Worgen stead is covered up with Defias members because it's representative of the push. The Defias were also trying to push in, just like they've done elsewhere, and take out the farms of Duskwood. But ever since I found the haft of the scythe jutting from that pile of rubble in the mine and curse me pulled it free, Roland's doom became a place of vile death. If I had known that would happen, I would have cut off my own hand to keep from grasping that rune-carved wood. So many regrets. I always thought that was a privilege of the old. I now know that it is not the old, it is the hopeless who don the mantle of regret, unable and unwilling to shrug it from the shoulders stooped with misery. But enough waxing like a pipe-mad poet, I must continue with the chronicle. After the scythe was freed, a change rippled through the mine, light from our flickering torches warped, and the strength of our voices seemed beyond our control. Sometimes a man's whisper roared through the tunnels, forcing hands on ears, and sometimes our shouts barely traveled a few steps before diminishing into a hint on the wind. Unnerving, yes, but we did not have long to wonder at this strangeness. It was but a harbinger of what truly drove us from the mine, the Worgen. They came at us from everywhere, clawing from hidden holes at our feet and dropping upon us from silent perches above. Half our men fell in those first panicked minutes. The rest, including myself, tried to flee. As I ran, I saw so many of my brothers taken by tooth and claw, heard so many streams cut short or gurgle to silence. For all I know, I'm the only human to escape that place. I can only guess why I survived that night. I've always been cautious, always quick to flinch from jabs and leap free of pitfalls. Oh. Okay, so this is almost identical to what we read. My nickname Jitters comes from this trait, so perhaps it was just that knack for caution that saved me, or maybe it was a scythe I pulled from the rubble. Yes, this is... That's exactly what we read before. It cannot be the scythe itself, for I lost it during my frantic flight, but if it was I who brought the Worgen to Duskwood, then perhaps the Worgen afforded me a rare courtesy. Curse them. Yeah, that I think was one of the pages from the other book. Or perhaps I'm doomed to witness the change I wrought on Duskwood. Perhaps it is my fate to watch as the Worgen tear into this land, staining it ever darker with their foulness. If that truly is my fate, then it is twofold, for the Worgen are not the only power to clutch at Duskwood. The fiends from Deadwind Pass have also staked claim. That is the next chapter of my tale, and I pray it is the last. After surviving the flight from Roland's doom, I hid within a barn owned by a man named Sven. I spent a few days in the barn, and such horror lingered with me that I never once made myself known to Sven or his family. I believe this was also in the previous book. But from what I saw from my hiding place, I knew these farmers were quite decent folk. Had I stepped from my concealment, I think they would have taken me in, but trust is hard for me. Harder still after that shock in the mine, so I remained hidden, and it saved my life. A few days after I arrived at the barn, Sven left his farm for Darkshire. He kissed his wife and smiled to his children and promised to return soon with toys and sweets. The poor man. That was the last time he saw his family unmutilated. At least they parted happily, and at least his wife was the first to die and was freed from seeing the slaughter of her children. But these small graces do nothing for me. I saw what happened, and it will ever haunt my dreams. Yeah, well, the poor kids had to see their parents die. Or mom die. My hand trembles as I recall the details of that night when Sven was away and his family was doomed to face the Black Riders alone. Again, regret claws at me, for I was there and could have risen against those fiends from Deadwind Pass, but it is a false regret. It is the same that plagues any survivor of a tragedy. I know that had I left my place of hiding, I too would have been killed, my body ripped up and torn, and its pieces spread so widely that I would not be recognized. But even though I know I could have done nothing to stop this heinous murder, one true regret does remain. I brought the Black Riders to Sven's farm. My discovery of the scythe not only unleashed the Worgen upon Duskwood, it drew the riders from Deadwind Pass. I know this because just before they began their slaughter, they asked one question to Sven's wife, as she held her children close, giving them what comfort she could, though she was certain death was near. "The scythe of Elune," one of the raiders shrieked in a voice both harsh and shrill, like the grinding of an axe on stone. And the last word, Elune, it croaked as if choking on the sound. Dread gripped me when I heard that voice, both from the horrid sound of it and because I knew the scythe of which the rider spoke. It must be the same cursed thing I drew from the rocks of Roland's Doom days before. It was what the Black Riders sought, and it was what would kill Sven's family. I never learned the name of Sven's wife, as she was only ever called Dearest and My Love and Mommy by her husband and children, but I wish I knew it. I am the only living memory of her deed that day, and although she was just a farmer's wife, never have I seen a man or woman act with such bravery. Of course she did not know of the scythe, but when she learned the riders sought it, in an instant a plan formed in her head, and it was bold and clever if only it had worked. "The scythe," she said in a calm voice, "of course I do. Who here wouldn't?" She looked at the riders with steady eyes, and I would have sworn she spoke the truth if I had not known better. There was no way she could know about the scythe. Her gambit paid off. The same rider who uttered the question before bent his head slightly toward her and shrieked, "Where?" "I'll take you, all of you," she said, and I could see a small hope flicker behind her eyes. "But the way is far, and my children would slow us. We must leave them." Her trick was simple, but simple tricks have the best hope of success. If it worked, it would lead the riders away from her, from the farm. She would be lost, but her children would be safe, and it would work if only the riders believed her noble lies. Although I've never been a student of the light, I prayed fiercely for Sven's wife as she stood against those terrible riders. "Please," I prayed, "let them believe." They stood frozen, and she met their gazes with calm. Then one rider looked up as if hearing a distant call. He drew from his garb a small gem and peered into it. He then gestured with the bauble towards Sven's wife. A light crept from the rider toward the woman, shaping itself into a grim white hand. She stared into the light, unflinching, but I could see uncertainty behind her mask of confidence. When the hand reached her, it spread its fingers over her head and it squeezed. Sven's wife stood rigid as a board, and her eyes grew wide, and although her lips pulled back to mouth a scream, no sound escaped. After a few moments of this torture, the hand released her, dropping her to her knees. The rider who held the bauble then sat erect in his saddle, and a loud voice erupted from it. "The woman lies," it said in a voice that has scarred my dreams. "She has not seen the scythe." After this, the rider's shoulders stooped slightly as if a spirit within him had fled. And then, this person. In the old shrieking voice it used earlier, the final words were uttered, "The Lord has spoken. Kill them." I cannot describe what happened next. It is clear in my mind, but even my wretched soul cannot put to paper the events of those next few grisly minutes. I can only write that Sven's family was killed, and soon after Sven returned to this grim, deathly scene. Such grief was in him that I was afraid to show myself, and so afraid was I that he would find me, I fled from my hiding spot in the barn. I do not know where Sven is now, but I pray he will someday find peace. I spent the next few weeks moving from place to place, never lingering for fear of the riders. I am now in the abandoned town of Raven's Hill, as always, hiding. I cannot face whatever power they used against Sven's wife, and I know it searches Duskwood even still for the scythe. It is lost to me, and I thank the light for this, for had I kept it, I know I would have been found. Even now I know in my heart that I will be found. I'm so tired. But he just lost it in flight.
Light be with you.
Did you find who the shadowy figure was?
This journal explains much to me, and sets me on the path against the Dark Riders. I have seen these riders in Duskwood, and have seen them speak with the wizard Morbent Fell at the Forlorn Road. Morbent Fell is a necromancer, and an ally to the Dark Riders. I would pit you against the power of Morbent Fell, but I will not send you against that vile fiend without first knowing your strength. You have already proven your bravery to me, but if you truly wish to face the necromancer, then you must now prove your skill against his minions.
Okay, cool. So return to Sven. Return to Sven is done. Yeah. And now proving your worth, which is cool because this adds even more skeleton killing for us. It's almost overkill at this point. But we will complete it as we complete everything else here. So now we have some killing that we can do. We're going to kill these skeletons. We're going to kill these skeletons, and hopefully between all of it, we finish off our skeleton fingers and our rot blossoms. But we have to kill 15 raiders, 3 healers, 3 warders, as well as 15 fiends and 15 horrors. So we've got to kill over 50 skeletons right now. Let's get to killing. Alright, so first things first, I'm going to be looking. Now, the raiders can appear anywhere around this kind of building area. But Morbent Fell has a, like, little crypt over somewhere. That's where I think he lives, and we'll eventually be killing Morbent Fell. Okay, there's our first. This is a skeleton healer. Kind of an oxymoron. Morbent, you have to be careful though as well, because Morbent Fell does like to pat in this area. Oh, you know what? I should be saving. We got a skeleton finger. There's another skeleton healer. We have to go in this crypt because the warders are inside that crypt. Morbent Fell though, we have to be careful because he does... Why did I do that to myself? Ding dong. I wasted one of my protection things. So we do have to go in here. The Dawningwood Catacombs. Because... Now, I kind of want to get out of the main path because Morbent Fell does path. There's a warder. The healers and things can appear down here too. The warders only appear down here. Excuse me. But Smeat for the win. I just love typos in chat. I don't know what these warders' special power is. He's in some kind of berserk right now. I'm just kind of being like stingy with my mana. But yeah, I mean we can kill the healers down here too, why not? But kind of overkill. We don't need to. Because they do appear out of the thing, out of the little tomb that we're in. The only real reason we're down here, and the only reason you ever have to come down here, is because of the warders. Now, this might be all attached. This might be like the back door. Oh, I barely hit him. I missed so many times, my Judgment of the Crusader almost expired. Okay, that's it. We have the 3 warders we need. I'm going back out to kill the other stuff. Again, being careful that I don't come into Morladim's presence. Okay.
It's too far away.
Now we might pull that carrion spider. We did. Okay, I'm gonna wait. In case I have to bust an exorcist out. Okay, so we got our second skeleton. Again, we are still in Morladim's path. That's not him. That's what I tried to do before when he hit me with this. Imagine now, this low on life, if Morladim's path got me there. That'd be lame. I don't see him. Maybe he was killed recently. Maybe he was killed in combat. That's a raider. Alright, so we're just going to now look for the raiders. I'm going to save that in case I think they're about to pop a heal off. That's what I'm going to save my exorcism for. Alright, so we did the weird, unique ones, but now we have to kill 15 raiders. We've killed 3 so far. We're still missing 1 thingy. in all of these guys, there you go, we got our last skeleton finger, so now we don't have to worry about skeleton fingers anymore. The only thing we need is ghoul somethings. Ghoul fangs. Okay. A few more raiders. There are tons of raiders all around this graveyard. My might's off. Making me waste that mana, bro. With poisons. I guess the raiders use poisons. I suppose if we have to, we can drink juices. You need to stop poisoning me. That's rude. Guess I should look and see what kind of poison it even is. What the heck, girl? She needs to get some hit chance. Pathetic. Alright, mana's getting a little low. We've killed 6 raiders so far. This will be our 7th, so we still have 8 left. What does that poison do? Time between my attacks? Nah. I mean, I guess... And my movement speed? I mean, I guess I could just... Oh, my mana's a little higher. I'm very slow. He hit me with a special poison. It's called slowing poison. So I guess the raiders are rogues, like combat rogues? That's good though, he tried to bust it on me right there and either I resisted, or because it was already procced on me for like 0.6 more seconds, it didn't work. Alright, so I'm going back up to Morladim's house because there are a bunch more raiders up there. Ouch. And, Mordenfell's house, not Morladim's house. That was just foolish of me. Morladim lives in a grave. Come on. Come on. Thanks, bro. That person healed me. I was about to heal myself, and now I don't have to because that person was cool. There's a ghoul over there, but I don't want it. I don't want to fight that ghoul yet. This is like the reverse of the kind of, not stance thing I was talking about, but where, especially as like a two-hander shaman, you can do where you drop like, there's a healer right there. You drop like the Earthbind totem. That's Morladim! Ah! This whole time I'm like, oh, where's Morladim? Where's Morladim? Then I find his behind. And I wasn't really ready for it. Okay. See, because he looks like a raider. He's just like a little bit more yellowish. We could take him though. Maybe not then. I wouldn't want to take him like when I was already kind of a little bit low on resources and not wanting to get the first strike. Although he aggroed from crazy far away, so I don't know how much of a first strike I'm going to be able to get. Okay, we need 4 more raiders, not more Ladims. And then I'll be heading down into killing the other kind of skeletons that we need. The horrors and the fiends. I mean, I guess we can go down this path. Because I'm kinda... That's a warder. I don't want warders. Oh, there you go. Hey, buddy. Alright. Ah! Almost walked right, almost backed into that healer. See, as we level up more and more and more, this hammer, which was once this OP sign of our might, is getting... Now I would say it's getting closer and closer to just being, like, solid, decent. This Worgen's Fist. The 25.6 DPS is now, at this level, at level 31, decent. Alright. Keep the buff put on. There we go. I refreshed it. We need 2 more raiders. They do appear all around this house. He's wholly firing something. I mean, I feel kind of bad. Well, actually, I don't feel bad. They're not like seeking out any kind of team up or anything. So it's not like they want to team up and I'm not doing it. Hello. We need the raiders. We need them. Raiders of the Lost. Something. I can't think of anything funny. I'm sorry. There's a raider. I see him. Now I'm going to go attack him, and then we'll just need 1 more raider. I don't know why I'm fixating on needing these raiders to be done. Just how my brain works. I must close this chapter before I move on to the next. And then the weird thing about it all is I arbitrarily decide what the chapters are. Okay. Because like with Tome of Affliction or whatever, that's fine. Do whatever you want. We need 1 more raider. I think that lady has been killing them. Can I go down here and get one? Can we make it happen? That's a freaking warder. No, I guess we can go start killing the other kinds. Because we need the... Obviously, these guys don't drop rot blossoms. That would have been too much to ask for. Fine, we'll go down and we'll start killing the others now. So we need the horrors and the fiends, not more Ladim. We need skeletal horrors and skeletal fiends. So that's the next phase. Now here's a skeletal horror. You do have to be careful because one thing that happens to me all the time out here, around some of these things there will be looters. I don't know if they're biased looters or grave robbers. Don't remember the exact thing behind all of it. Okay, we need 15 each. Fiend. So it looks like the fiends are like a little bit lighter colored. They also seem to have a dagger. The horrors, kind of like with Diablo, if you ever played the original Diablo, where like the horrors would be these black skeletons, so I guess you got some of that going on too. But it looks like the horrors drop the rot blossoms, but I don't know if the fiends actually do. Okay, we got our first rot blossom. See these guys, grave robbers. I do not know what the heck the point of them is, but more than once have I been doing like an epic fight, say against like Morladim or something like that, and just not even notice them. I don't know why they just blend in for me. Okay, we need total of 8 rot blossoms. We now have 1. Oh, the fiends dropped the rot blossoms. That's good. So we need 8 out of the 30. So if there's at least like a 1 in 4 drop chance, it should be good on our rot blossom drops. And so starting tomorrow, we'll be moving on to back to a neutral contested zone. I don't know what we're going to do first, if we'll stick with her or if we'll move over to our Horde character, but we're going to go to Ashenvale. I can see an argument for both sides, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of look at the quests and see of the beginning lower level quests. Actually, we can probably take a peek in one of our runs on this episode. I can make that decision with you guys right now on camera. So we've only got the 1 so far. So far, our drop rate has not been good. We killed a total of 7 or so. So we've already killed like a quarter, and we only have 1 rot blossom. That's neat. Yeah. So if we get 1 on this one, then at least we're basically on target for about a 1 in 4 drop rate. There we go. Alright, so nothing to fret. It's going to be... unless we get some slightly better RNG, though, we're going to be bringing it down to the wire. where we get maybe at our 30th guy we get our 8th Rot Blossom. But with only needing 8, that's a pretty forgiving number. You can get hot on the RNG and yes, we got the history book. Heck yeah. Although the cover of this book is marred by scratches and caked with mud, the words "The History of Stormwind" can still be read along its spine. Upon opening the book, the seal of the Stormwind Library is clearly stamped on the book's first page. It looks like someone checked out this book and never returned it. Awesome. So now we picked up an old history book. I love that. Heck yeah. So, perfect. That means we don't have to grind that. We have to return it to Stormwind. We can't read it because it's, I don't know, like dilapidated or something, or boring. I don't know why, but our character's like reading it. That's ridiculous. All right, so that's a win right there. That's awesome. We are not winning the game of... Oh man, I didn't hit him with the Crusader thing. Oh well. We are not winning the game of Rot Blossom. But it's okay. We're not quitters. I mean, worst case scenario, we just have to kill more skeletons than 30. And there are worse things than forced grinding. We are kind of at a good spot with that, but dang it. So 9 of the 15 horrors. We're getting a lot of horrors. The fiends, I don't know why, but I do feel like the fiends are always a little harder to find than the horrors. Don't know why about that. Maybe also because the fiends only appear here. Okay, we got our 3rd Rot Blossom. We also just found some shoulder pads. 115. Utter trash. No spank you. 5. Okay. I mean, right there could have been a pack of grave robbers. I wouldn't have even seen them. Because it's, I don't know, they're like shorter than the grass. Which is pretty tall grass. This grass is taller than my head. So just imagine that. You're in, just for context, you start running around a graveyard with patches of grass taller than your head? I mean, they need a little bit of maintenance around here. The groundskeeper is really slacking. Also, what's the architectural structure of this graveyard? There doesn't even look like there was a plan, people of Darkshire. And I would imagine this graveyard existed before it all turned bad. What was the plan? Just randomly scatter gravestones wherever you feel like it? Ugh. Just embarrassing. And I know you want to say, oh, our land is overrun with undead and werewolves. I don't care. Take some pride in your work of landscaping and aesthetic use of your space.
I need to get closer.
For shame. I would have made this a beautiful, beautiful graveyard. People would be dying to get in. Okay, we're halfway through our Rot Blossoms. That's rot-tastic right there. How are we on our kills? 20 out of 30, so we're 2/3 of the way through our kills, but only halfway through. Yikes. So we're behind. We're gonna need some help on the RNG if we're gonna stay on pace. We're gonna need a nice RNG spike toward the end, because as of right now, we are like 70% done, and we are not 70%. Okay, 5. That's good. But we only need Okay, we oh, good. That was a nice spike. All right, so we just need 6 more fiends, and in those 6 fiends, we need 2 rot blossoms, which is still, that's low. That would defy the 1 out of 4. Look at that. Now we have 5 kills in which to get the 1 rot blossom we need. That's what I talked about. We just needed a good spike of I think I need to eat something. I'm getting a little low. I do have these seasoned wolf kebabs. Let's make it. We'll just make it work. I'm just gonna stop using the Crusader. Okay, we need 4 more kills. We didn't get one that time. 1 rot blossom. Okay, we're gonna try to be a little bit. Okay, rot blossom done. 3 kills of skeletons left. And then we've shown the Night Watch we're awesome, and we haven't shown it to Sven yet. Oh, because we still need 1 raider. I forgot. Gotta go back and get a raider. All right, little fiends, where are you? Come on, pretend that you're walking the streets in the middle of the night looking for some sort of hard drug that's terrible for your body. I will pretend I am a purveyor of such a drug. So that will draw all of the fiends to me. So speaking of fiends and wandering the streets, I woke up today at around 6 a.m. because the sheriff's department must have a, I don't know what the thing is. They must have some sort of program they've recently started utilizing. But I got a mass text that there's a hospital, I don't know, a couple miles away from my house. It's not the hospital that my wife works at, but it's a close hospital. And the sheriff's department, so a lot of the times, anybody that is familiar with hospitals or in the justice system, I'm sure is familiar with this, but you can sometimes have the need to medically clear a patient, a prisoner. So they'll bring prisoners into the bed, to the hospital, I mean, and proceed to have them medically cleared. They'll, check their stuff, their vitals, whatever. Usually the patient, in this case, has had some kind of complaint, which is why he now needs to be medically cleared, like chest pain. So but it's typically common, in this case, when a patient is being medically cleared, that they are, that was our final raider, by the way. We go over here. That they're handcuffed to the bed. And I just know this because my wife having told me this kind of thing. I only know about this as an outsider, but I hear the ER stories from my wife over the past 20 years. So it's something that I know about from that side. So anyway, we got the thing that this guy, and I live in a place that's largely woods. It's like suburbia. It's sprinkled throughout woods, and those woods get more and more developed over the decades, but still largely woods. Anyway, the guy has escaped from the hospital, and he's in the woods.
Your skill in combat adventure cannot be doubted.
He's
Your
in
resolve may
somewhere
yet
around
see us
us.
through to the end of Morbin Fell.
Okay.
Go to the city of Stormwind and speak with Bishop Farthing in the Cathedral of Light. Give him Jitter's journal and tell him you mean to face Morbin Fell. Although Stormwind has forsaken Darkshire, Farthing is a kind soul and very wise. He may help you on your quest to save us. Your mission is perilous, but hurry, adventurer. With each passing hour, the shadows of Duskwood grow ever darker.
Okay, what I would like to do is I kind of actually want to wait until we are closer, because if we can get to 32 before we go to Stormwind, before we do this, then we'll be in good shape. So, because then we can do the level up powers while we're there. So I actually want to, we can do the top. We can run across the top. and go turn in these other couple quests. So we turned in Proving Our Worth, but now we have Seeking Wisdom. We also have that quest. The book we can turn in Stormwind, so we'll get a little bit of... But this Seeking Wisdom is quite a little bit of a chain. So it's not like the end of the world if we can't fully get to 32, if we can just get close. But there are some other things we can do. And remember, my goal is for us to finish this zone in one go. And it's going to maybe take us a little bit of time, but it's not impossible still. So we'll go turn in the Rot Blossoms and the Night Watch to that lady. She'll probably give us another Night Watch level quest. While we're running in here, we might as well get the Mistmantle Family Ring and the Tear of Toloa. We might as well take care of that too. Let's just knock that out of the park. And then we can also go down here and kill these Nightbane Worgen. Because all of those things are going to be good quests, and I think there's one more Worgen in the Woods that comes after that. So there are these different things. So we can bust out some good XP real quick on those, get us closer. And I believe when we bring the Rot Blossoms back, I think the Hermit's next thing wants us to kill ghouls, and then we'll be in the spot where, and the Night Watch also wants us to kill ghouls. So we'll be in a ghoul killing pattern there. We're about an hour in, but running this episode 2 hours is fine. What's going to really hurt us here is the time needed to travel, because this quest is eventually going to take us over to Menethil Harbor. Don't think it might even take us... No, it doesn't. I don't think it takes us to Dustwall and Marsh. I think it's just Menethil Harbor, which we've been to before. We can fly there. We'll be able to use a hearth once. So we can also bust out the level 31 Warlock quests if we want. Depending, like, on the flying, if we have some less exciting issues there. Our power will be another 2% damage, so can't complain about that. Our talent. And then we'll have 2 levels of just continuing to increase the Seal of the Crusader. Also pretty solid. And then we'll get 5 levels of physical and holy damage for 8 seconds anytime we get a crit. That's cool. Alright, so we're going to try this right here. And then, so basically, damage spikes. Crits are good. Followed by Repentance, which is, it will give us a second stun. Put it right there. It'll be nice. We'll have 2. The Rep Pally rotation, quite simple. It's one of the simplest rotations. I'm a Frost Mage, also very simple rotation. But Frost Mages, at least you've got a large kit. So if you start getting into kiting, and you can alternate between... I mean, really, all of the rotations are pretty simple in Classic. Maybe Warlock is a tough one, depending on how you do it. Not if you're like a Shadowboat focused Warlock, but like if you're more of an Affliction Lock style person, maybe that's a little bit tougher. Shaman depends on what you're doing, but you can spend more time dancing and crap. Oh man, that guy's coming out of the Mistmantle thing. That's just a fetid corpse. Fetid corpse? I don't care about the fetid corpses. I want the dude. That's what we need. We need Stelvin Mistmantle. So now that quest, we're saying screw that for now, because someone just came and killed him. So never mind on that. I don't even care about this fetid corpse. We're gonna ignore that for now. If we come back up that way, fine. We'll turn these 2 quests in, and then we will go for. We can still go for the Nightbane quest. That's just pure XP. And I mean, it might be a good enough XP between turning in these quests, turning in that quest. That might be good enough to get us to 32 right there. All right.
You need something?
Hi, Glicadessa. Do you have those rot blossoms for me yet?
Good, you got the rot blossoms. And I'll tell Althea Ebonlock of the Night Watch that you were killing skeletons. Keeping the people of Darkshire safe is a grim burden for the Night Watch, and news that others are helping stem the tide of fiends in Duskwood is welcome news indeed. Here's your zombie juice. And be careful with this stuff. It's strong enough to raise the dead.
Okay, so now we have the rot blossoms, and now he's going to give me zombie juice to go bring back to the dude. I think that's up here, yeah. Juice delivery. Now this is the last of the deliveries, I think. I don't know. The leveling up of his quests has jacked it up to the next level now. All right, here's the next level of the Night Watch.
The people of Darkshire thank you, adventurer. You have proven yourself to be a great ally of the Night Watch. The situation in Ravenhill is still grim. The safety of Darkshire is in your hands, adventurer. I don't have enough watchers to keep the town safe. We need you to dispatch for Ravenhill yet again and rid the Eastern Mausoleum of 20 plague spreaders.
Okay, but what prompts her to say that is this watcher Cutford runs up and says, Althea, there are reports of strange happenings at the graveyard. Ella believes it portends an attack on Darkshire. This doesn't bode well. Send scouts to gather some intelligence and stay on alert. Yes, Commander. Or maybe that's just part of the scripting that occurs that leads to the abomination. I didn't realize there was a sort of a narrative element. So basically, they hear that there will be some stuff coming up. And, oh, so meanwhile, as we run to the south, let's pick up those. We just completed and turned over the Night Watch duo as well. So, Night Watch 2 is now done. And, where threat lurks in the wild, Night Watchers be on the alert. Okay, we're not going to deal with that because we've got these werewolves to deal with. And we picked up the Night's Watch 3 way down here, which is killing 20 plague spreaders. I mean, it's worthwhile. Again, free real estate in terms of XP. It's just something we need to do. Alright, so we need here, not a lot. We need 8 Vile Fangs and 8 Tainted ones, but these are tougher. Okay, now if I go there, I'm going to be pulling a whole pack, but let's see what I can do. I'm going to try it. Dang it. I only pulled 1. Cool. So I peeled off 1 Vile Fang. That's cool, I like that. Now I think the tainted ones are all inside this mine. Spiriting Hatchet. Alright, now I have a feeling I'm gonna get more than... Nope, I peeled off just 1 again too. That's cool, I'll be able to get half my Vile Fangs right here. Unfortunately... He gave me some kind of rabies or something, I don't know. Unfortunately, that person is going in there, that warlock just went in there, and they're going to be going after the tainted ones. I mean, they just came in and out. Maybe they just need that 1 quest. I would prefer... Yeah, hold that guy. Just in time. Jeez. Okay, so Mad Wolf Bracers, that's leather. I'll be nice and give him a little bit of a blessing. But we need Vile Fangs. So what did I kill there? I killed 3 Vile Fangs. We also need 8 Tainted ones. But if you look, someone's cleared the whole stinking place. Dang it. Alright, I can get iron though. That's good. So, cool for us. Now, there is another quest that will send us in here. We have to go to this pile of dirt. That's the final test in the werewolf chain, but this is annoying. Why? I'm trying to have a good questing experience, and they're freaking out here. So now I can't do that. So now maybe if I go over here, I can find the other patch, because obviously this one's being farmed. There was copper. I didn't care as much about that, but... So now I've got to, again, look for the tainted ones and the vile fangs. See what I can do. This is back to that other orchard. We did get some of these other guys before. Copper, don't care about it as much. I don't know where. Oh, this guy wants to fight me. Oh, and he's bringing a Dark Runner in with him. Why not? Stinking Buster. He's not running either. Okay, these guys are green to me now, though, so at least there's that. Alrighty. So, getting some decent XP. Ah, come on. Oh my gosh, I pulled 3, huh? Oh, I pulled 4. Pulled 6. Okay, I gotta bubble and get out of there. I do not know what they aggro from 8 million miles away. That's crazy. That aggro range was cray-cray. I don't even know how I'm gonna get back to the... Like, I don't even know that this is worth... I've never come back, first of all, to, this side to get these. I've always done that mine. So I have no idea what I'm getting myself into. These guys, their aggro radius is huge. I don't know. Maybe it just seems that way because I'm more zoomed in than I normally play. That could be it too. They're not individually very hard. There they are. There's a patch of them right there. Okay, so I somehow have to get up there. I mean, right, I'm stepping on the copper main. You know what, I didn't sell. My bags are about to be empty. When we go back to town, I got to sell. Stitches headed to town. Beware. I wonder if you get more a chance at more cracks at the node if that's in any way tied to your mining skill. I don't think so. I think it's just randomly 2 to 4 chances. You have a chance of 2 to 4. Get up there. Don't know how to do it. Okay. Who wants to aggro? Oh man. Now this guy's not aggroing?
It is too far away.
Are these just tainted ones? It says there's a vile thing here too, but it's like this is such a small camp of them. I don't know that this is even worth it. Or viable. We'll see. Heck. Sometimes I also feel like when there's a difference of like y-axis like this, or z-axis, like a vertical, I sometimes feel like someone's watching me. And I get no privacy. Alright, this is another vile thing. What do we need? We have most of the vile things. It's the tainted ones that we need, which there is one right there. There's a couple. Physical damage. I don't know if he diseased me twice or if he was. Sometimes I feel like somebody's watching me. Okay, so I mean, at least it's something. There's a few up here. But like I said before, I've never done this. I've never taken this route to get these guys. There's a whole pack. Okay. Is there anybody in there? No. And for some reason they are, even though the aggro, they're pretty sensitive to the aggro, they are really, like, letting me pull them from far away. I wonder what, like, it's weird that there's this weird random camp up here of these wolves.
Inventory is full.
Of course it is. Guess let's get rid of the spongy moral and replace it with a mutton chop. Okay. It might be, though, that... I mean, I don't know. It's a pretty balance up here, too, because now I'm going to be like 50-50. Okay. Like, I think I'm at 4 and 4. Okay. Yeah. So I've gotten half of each, and there's a whole pack of 5 or so guys out there still. Vile, 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 vile. That's 4. Tainted. There's another tainted one right there. I don't want to... I have to be careful. Okay. I mean, I can probably fight my way in, but I don't want to necessarily fight them all. We just want those tainted ones. Just trying to be smart about how I decide to pull this off.
I can't tell.
Ooh, look at that. That's a straight tank gear right there. I mean, I could eat that for a second. Like, I could put that... That's bind on equip straight tank gear. I'm not going to be wearing it, but look at that. 278 armor with a 9 defense. Like, that is... That's... I'll put that on the auction house. Some tank out there will probably want it. So...
I don't have a target.
Okay. I feel like I gotta, even though it's just gonna make me kill a little bit extra, I feel like if I want to fight these guys, I gotta peel them off in this direction. I feel like that's the only thing I can do. Alright, so I am happy about that drop we just got. That's pretty decent. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a, I try to be a lore master. Oh, my thing wore off. Dang, she took forever to get that. I was trying to be stingy with the... Okay. We're gonna level up soon. Yeah, I was gonna say those two are coming together. There's no way around it. That's okay though. Alright. So all the Vile Fangs are done now. We still need 3 tainted ones, but I've unlocked a couple tainted ones there, so, and I think there might be one behind it. Jeez, bro. Hopefully that'll help out a little bit.
Inventory is full.
Of course it is. What do I have that I can... I guess I can get rid of this large fang. I'm gonna eat that mutton chop right again anyway. Alright, so we need 3 more tainted ones, but there's 2 here, and I think, yep, there's a 3rd one in the cave, so we can at least wrap the quest up with this. Then I gotta sell. I can't believe I haven't sold and repaired. Then we're pretty good. We do have to go back over here and do the zombie killing. We are gonna do that. That's fitting to happen. Oh, for a second I thought he was coming. That pulled both. But we're definitely going to level up from this. Just from killing these 3 guys and then turning this quest in, we're going to be good on the level up. But I still want to, before we go, I actually think I want to kill the zombie guys first. I think that might be most useful. Then we can get that nice chunk of the dungeon taken out. Alright, one more and we're done. Yeah, so... Tainted one, tainted one, tainted one. So this is just another spot. If that farming is bad and you can come back here and dig your way to it, this is just an overall valid, decent spot to try and farm out the werewolves you need if the main mine is like it was in my case, if it is being over farmed. I gotta try to split the hair. I'm gonna end up having to divine protect myself to get through this. Which is okay. Don't know if this is the right path I should have gone. I might have to also use a potion because there's so much werewolf action. I have a pretty good surplus of potions, so if I have to use a potion, it's not the end of the world. Oh, I think I got away. That little passive speed buff you get from being a paladin and choosing that spec is also nothing to sneeze at. Alright, so our work is cut out for us in terms of getting this episode done within the 2 hours, because we still have a little bit to do. Alright, so this is going to be the Worgen in the Woods next portion, whatever that one is. So we already did 2, so this is going to be 3 and picking up number 4, which is, I believe, the end of the line. Complete 3, pick up 4. Digging through the dirt is a repeatable quest that we're going to get. When? Oh, that's when you do the Bride of the Embalmer. Digging through the dirt, that spawns his wife.
Adventurer, to be honest with you, I did not believe that you would get this far, but you are clearly an adventurer to be reckoned with. In fact, if you wish to formally join Master Karevin's struggle, I will gladly write for you a letter of recommendation. Here you go, adventurer. Bring this message to Master Karevin. A few more like you, and we will outnumber the Night Watch. Perhaps then we could complete the work that we few carry on today.
Oh my goodness. Let's sell first, obvi. But that's good that we got that level up, and this quest is just a go walk over, turn it in.
Duskwood, I haven't been able to sleep. I'm kept awake by the ghostly sounds of screaming on the breeze. It sounds almost like lambs screaming, and they won't stop.
I know, it's freaky. You told me that before. I think we don't need wool either. Oh, but we can work on this heavy silk. We can get rid of that. I should actually smelt up my stuff while I'm right here just to get it out of the way. I'm not going to work on that right now. I mean, it'd be cool if we got that too. That's 210. We're getting there. We're working towards the heavy mage weave bandage. Actually, yeah, just regular mage weave, not heavy. I don't... Oh no, she needs to save the wool. Because...
See you later.
This is where you smell. I mean, I guess. Pish posh. So this is actually we're gonna complete Worgen in the Woods 4, and I don't know what the end of that is. That might be the end of Worgen in the Woods. Bam bam. Because I don't see anything past it. So that might have been the final Worgen part we need. Now there could be a different quest. Look at all that iron we're getting. Are one of these people an iron trainer? The weaponsmith out there. Blacksmith. I don't see a miner trainer. I think just smelting all of this, it just lets us... Oh, that ended it. It just lets us really condense our stacks. Ooh, we're 32. How is our fishing? We are now in need of 2 rounds of fishing. We don't necessarily have to do it on this level, but that means there will come a point when we have a transition type level, and we are going to need to do it. The gooey spider leg, I mean, I guess we can keep... I'm even hesitant doing what we're doing even right now because this is like, I'm gonna save this tunic. We'll play the auction house game and everything on the next episode, or whenever the next time that we go check in with our Alliance character is. I'm just really doing this for bag space. We have a pretty good amount. We had 14 bronze already. So now I've got the stacks of that and I can combine it, but it's... Alright, I guess we'll combine it. Right now, our stacks of metal, we're taking up 4 stacks. So when I do all this smelting, what will it get down to? Right now we're at 5 stacks, so... Okay, now we're back to 4. So, the same. Because each of those, like, I don't really know how much this space this saves us. I mean, it'll take my tin out of the way, but it'll replace it with another bronze stack. So, altogether, this didn't save us any time, because now we're at 2 stacks of 20. Yep, so now we're temporarily at 5, so we need to smelt it to get down lower. Now, getting the iron out, that's different, because that'll just add into our iron bar stack we already have going on. That's true. Rough stones, we could get rid of that. We don't really need that. And so we have 50 pieces of bronze, and we have iron. I think we're okay. I mean, I'll get a little bit more tin. But I think we're okay with all of that. Okay. Yeah, this dude out here. Oh, this is a mining trainer.
King's honor, friend.
Oh, you need 155 to
Honor,
smelt
friend.
gold. Sure. Alright. Okay, so that didn't... Now we can pick up the final Worgen in the woods part, which I already clicked off.
Here you go, adventurer. Bring this message to Master Karevan.
He
A
quickly
few more
removes a
like
piece of
you,
faded
and we will
parchment.
outnumber the Night Watch. Perhaps then we could complete the work that we few carry on today.
So he says, Master Caravan, the bearer of this note has shown herself to be upstanding in the light, capable of battling the undead and demons that plague the borders of Duskwood, and willing to join the Caravan family in their cause of light. I would thereby suggest that you give this warrior of the light further duties, perhaps to investigate some of the townsfolk that are under suspicion of succor to the enemies of the light. Yours faithfully, Kalor.
Hey there. Yes, what is it? Make it quick. I've pressing matters to attend to.
Excuse me for my cold reception, adventurer, but as I'm sure you can tell, I am an extremely busy man. I see that you have impressed Kalor, and I assure you that is no small feat, and that he has given his recommendation. There are unsavory types afoot, adventurer, and we can use the help of all who have proven themselves. We battle against demons, the undead, and those who would provide them aid. Be vigilant, be wary, and trust none who would not give aid to our cause. Glory under the light.
So I don't know if that's supposed to be what the deal is with that. That cloak is a little bit better than the one we have, though. But that's like, borderline, if not straight up Scarlet Crusade, it's very much in the vein of the Argent Dawn. Yeah, like if nothing else. I don't need those rough stones either. Get rid of those. Okay. So now what can we do here? So the werewolf part is done. That's cool. Now let's go up here. No, you know what? No, I'm not going to do that one right now. We have time on that. So, dang it. Fine, we will. We need to go over to the juice delivery and kill zombies. We're going to be taking down the levels. It's going to be close. Wasn't for the travel, I would feel confident of our ability to knock this out, say, in about 30 minutes, which will put us at about a 2-hour episode. Wasn't for that. I'm not even going to go run and turn this in right away. I want to go over and kill the zombies before, and then we have to go to Stormwind, learn our powers, and then we'll have to be chasing down the Menethil quest line. So this is where the current format we have, the 2-hour format or whatever it is puts us in a little bit of a mode. Is he in there? He's dead again. Oh. Alright, so recently killed again. That's hurting us today also. That's slowing us down, that this zone is just popping off today. So many people questing. I mean, it's a great place to quest. Everything is closely linked together. It's very fun on the lore. The monsters are good XP. They're everywhere. Almost every single thing in the quickly, rapidly spawning zone is full of... is worth it, you know? It's tied to a quest or something. I want this chest, that's why I'm taking the time to kill this spider. So I can understand why. Alright, so we're going to turn in juice delivery now and pick up the next stop, which I think that will give us more desire to kill these ghoul fangs. So we need to kill 20 plague spreaders, which should get us our remaining ghoul fangs. So we can also finally turn in Totem of Infliction. Let's look at what's available on the quest. So, juice delivery. Oh, we turned in seasoned wolf kebabs. I don't know why I never checked that one off. I added that in on the last episode. I forgot to put that on the spreadsheet too. So I added that in, but we completed the seasoned wolf kebabs. So, juice delivery and Totem of Infliction. Old history book. When we go to Stormwind, we'll turn that in. Ghoulish effigy. I think that's what the Hermit's going to give us next. So we need more ghoul stuff. Then there's this chain. The Night Watch 3. That's the one we're currently on to kill the plague spreaders. We turned in Look to the Stars 4. Those two I forgot to add to the spreadsheet. So Look to the Stars 4. Yeah, I put that there, but then, and then the seasoned wolf kebabs. I forgot to mark that one too. Yeah, I just never marked it on that first sheet. No worries. Okay. Ogre thieves. Note to the mayor. I don't remember where those come from. Note to the mayor is the other guy. I wonder if ogre thieves, I think that's the hermit's next quest after the ghouls. Yikes. I don't think we're going to get it done. I don't think we can. So, I think... You know what? Yeah, looking at it, I just don't think time is going to allow us to do it. Okay, I'm aborting mission. Because now that I actually look at what's coming up ahead, there's too much for us to squeeze this all in 30 minutes. we could get an almost another 2-hour episode. So I underestimated Duskwood. I thought we could do it in 3 days, but it's not going to happen. It's going to be a 4-day thing. Which is still fine. Still good, still good. But I ported us here to Stormwind. This is where we'll take a break here. We hit 32. Got our talent there now. So we'll work on this, and we'll start working on Sven's quest chain, which is fine because that'll send us back into Duskwood to turn that in where we can still organically work on this. Because now that I'm also looking at it, we're also going to have to now travel back and fight ogres one more time. We're going to have to go back and forth here a couple more times. So it's just too much to try to bust out. We'll be way over the 2-hour mark. And I'd rather be at an hour and a half, or what's our record time right now? Thank God we're still recording. I never checked. Oh, we're only at an hour 20. But I bet you we could have at least that much. Even in 40 minutes, I don't think we could do it. Because it's going to take us 15 minutes to kill all those plague bringers. And you add on the 5-10, it's going to take us 5-10 minutes here in town. We still have to do that. That keeps being, and there might come a point where we have to wait for that to respawn at this rate. So, yeah, I'm making the executive decision that we will just have to wrap this up in one more episode because I think we'll be way too far over. All right. We have another episode in the pipe, 5x5. We ended kind of abruptly, but I think when we look at the timestamp of where we go tomorrow, we'll be in less of a rush. I won't feel cramped for time. And I think you'll just get to see, I think you'll notice. I think we will be proven right that it warranted a 4th episode. Thank you everyone so much for watching, for tuning in. As always, you guys are amazing, and I love doing this. And I'll see you next time on Lore of Warcraft.